Okay, so our next step is to make sure the equipment's actually going to deliver the right dose rate as well. And they do wear out, the seals go, and you do need to check this every time you go to start drenching. And if you're going to drench a lot of sheep in a day, you really ought to check at intervals every hour or so, just to make sure that it's still delivering the right dose rate. Don't ever rely on it, they can be very wrong. So we wanted, for our product this time, a white drench, we wanted 10 mLs. So we've got 10 mLs there on our gun. The guns vary as to how you actually adjust that, but usually it's a twist action, and you actually set the drench dose rate. And then what you need to do is to make sure it's doing what it says it does. Now, I've got a nice little calibration pot here to check that we got there. So we've got 10 mLs, and we want our gun to actually deliver 10 mLs, which it isn't. It's delivering 8 mLs. So we need to adjust that. So don't just trust what it says on the gun, actually go and calibrate it and make sure that you're getting the right drench. Okay, so we found out our gun isn't delivering what we wanted it to, so I've had a reset on that, and now we're going to have another go and check that it's actually delivering 10 this time. There we go, 10. And sometimes it's useful just to give it a second one, and this time our gun is delivering the 10 mLs that we want it to do on each occasion. Now, if you haven't got one of these fancy little calibration pots, and actually there are quite a lot of them around now, a lot of the companies do give them away, then all you simply need to do is to find a syringe, take the plunger out of the middle, and you can use that just the same to test whether or not your drencher is actually working properly. And there again, we've got our 10 mLs, and we've checked that everything's working properly. So you don't need any fancy equipment. Everyone's got this sort of thing hanging around, and we now know we're going to deliver the right dose rate. Okay, just 3 more small points about the correct use of anthelmintics in sheep. One is that, you know, you will notice that we are wearing protective gloves, and really you did ought to be wearing impermeable protective gloves at all times when you're handling wormers or porons, any of those products. The second point is that it's very tempting if you want to give, let's say for example, something like a mineral drench at the same time, and people have been known to do this, to mix the wormer and the mineral drench together. Never do that. Those two products won't mix properly. They will settle out, and you won't get the proper drench and dose rate into the sheep. And finally, always store these products properly, and they should be stored around about 4 degrees centigrade. They don't want to go any less than that, and they certainly don't want to be left in the sunlight either. And take notice of the expiry date. Don't use out-of-date product on the sheep. Another point is that particularly with these white drenches, as this one is, they are colloidal, so you do need to give them a good shake before you start. And if you're not going to use that much product on a day, don't be tempted by the big buy one get one free type of product offers, where you can buy a lot for a lot less. If you're not going to use it, don't buy it. Just buy as much as you need for the day that you're actually going to be using the product.